Hey guys, so like the video I posted the last time, I'm here with yet another review of classic Doctor Who. This time I'll be talking about the episode. Logopolis, cause my copy of it is now come in after being delayed for nearly 2 weeks since it was supposed to be here. Anyways, my point is, now I can finally talk about Tom Baker again. Well, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and point out that it's clear that some time has passed from Robot to Logopolis, because the way Tom Baker does half of his performance in this episode, you can tell he's agitated from how the 7 seasons have been, and the just agitation of having to put up with Jonathan Nathan Turner. And quite honestly, one thing that's pointed out is that with the fourth Doctor is the first one to have the awful question marks on the collars, a trend that is continued in not only Davison's era of the show, because you can see them right there, right there, and as well as on Colin's costume, because there they are there. And it's even more accentuated on Seven's outfit. If I can find a good picture of it. He doesn't have the question marks on the collar. He has it on his shirt, which is honestly worse, personally. At least with 5 and 6's outfits, it's at least understated compared to the rest of what they're wearing, with Peter Davison wearing a vegetable and the literal rainbow jacket that 6 wears. And also, I don't like the fact that the costumes are devolving from at least a semi cool looking outfit with the multicolored scarf to the red scarf, to the cricketing outfit of Davison, the rainbow monstrosity of 6, and the white and brown question mark suits of 7. But I'll do a separate video talking about the costumes. But at the same time, I just want to talk about performance. Like I said, you can tell time has passed between this episode where he's baby-eyed and ready and excited to do the role, to where 7 seasons later he's literally tired of it. Well, not 7 seasons, 7 years later, or however long Tom Baker's did the role of the Doctor, because he's still the longest running Doctor, and I don't think it'll be passed up anytime soon, especially with the bull crap that the fandom is now. Yeah, that's right, I said it. Anyways, enough about that. Let's also move on to something I find funny about this, is that Anthony Ainley's version of the Master, honestly, I've now seen a good bulk of stories that have him in it, starting with right here, then here. He's not on the cover, but he's also in this, and his version of the Master. People want to compare him to Roger Delgado's version of the character, which Roger Delgado was more of he was an equal to Pertwee, but he was also his opposite. So the fact he was also his opposite. And then I didn't get to see. I haven't seen much of the two the two masters that come between Delgado and Annalie, but Anthony Annalie is honestly a pretty solid master, like for what the character is, and like it's for what the master is, and comparing him to say Derek Jacobi or John Sims or Michelle Gomez or I forget who's the current master, but you know what I'm talking about, the current master of the show. But they all have their own villainous aspects to them, and with here with here you and other stories you can tell just why Anthony Annalie got the job. Also, fun fact, something I found out while watching the Mark of the Ronnies, listening to the Mark of the Ronnies commentary. Apparently, Anthony Annalie was supposed to had in his contract he had 3 master stories a year, and they didn't use him. And then when the contract expired, they put him in this, according to Colin Baker, who was, as we know, is the 6th Doctor, and like, but again, Tegan Travanka, who is the Javanka, or however you pronounce her last name, she is the companion that's introduced in this episode, played by Jeanette Fielding, and I think I'm more inept to her character now, since I've seen how she first enters the TARDIS, which you don't see many people just stumble onto the TARDIS, like in the modern series, or in any series since, because we're in the episodes past this. But then again, according to the Doctor, I haven't seen much of Tom Baker's era, but I'm trying to catch up on it. But according to him, Jamie was a stowaway, and Nisa begged the Doctor to help her find her father. But Tegan literally just sees the police box, walks inside, and is greeted with the TARDIS. Then anyways, that's besides the point. Personally, now that I know what our character is here, I think I can now appreciate her role in this episode. And her role in both this episode and when she's reintroduced to this episode, because she's in the first part of this episode, she isn't actually on the TARDIS. She's off on Earth, visiting her cousin, ironically named Colin, but we'll go into that. But I'll talk about that, like the ironicness of Doctor Who in another video. But also, I found in this episode, with his chemistry with Tom, that whilst yes, I do get that what's his name, Matthew Waterhouse, or how do you say his name, who plays Adric, it's a much better character in this episode than it is later on, and I don't really see why people hate him so much. But then again, I haven't seen the rest of his run in the show. But I mean, I like Colin Baker, and not a lot of people are on the same boat as that. I don't like, and at the same point, I didn't like Peter Capaldi as the Doctor, and yet a lot of people have him as their favorite Doctor. different strokes for different folks, people. But anyways, as well as Sarah Sutton, who plays Nisa. She is pretty good in this episode, even though she's formally introduced in this episode as a companion, and reintroduced. I would say, actually no, introduced. I looked it up. Her first adventure is in this story as companion. But that's about it for a Regeneration episode. From what I've seen of classic Doctor Regeneration episodes, and that's The Trial of the Time Lord, that's KJ Nozani, and I've seen 8's movie, which is 7's Regeneration, and technically can be considered still classic Who, since it came out in the 90s, before the 2005 reboot, and I haven't even seen the Dr. Shulka episode. But anyways, enough about that. That's pretty much all I have for this episode. Again, what are your thoughts on this episode? Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought of Tom Baker's Regeneration episode. And let's get this discussion going. In the comments, tell me what you thought in the comments below, and let's get this discussion going. Thank you for watching, and bye. And I'll see you when I see you.